Okay, so I'm going to do another installment of 21 questions. And as most of you guys know, the way this works is I take 21 random questions from you guys, either from my Facebook, my text, or my Twitter. And I just copy them into a notepad and I answer them, and you guys get a raw, uncensored look at the way my bipolar brain digests things. And I just, I don't know why we do this, but you ask and I answer. So it works. It works, I guess. Um, we're not answering this one. I already know. Okay, so here we go. The first question that I have is from Layla. And she says, why do we find ourselves attracted to and by those who are emotionally unavailable? And I don't know, because I mean, there's that old adage that says, whatever you attract, whatever you put out is what you get back. But I don't know that I always agree with that, because for a good period of time, I was emotionally unavailable and still attracted guys that were emotionally available. So I don't know that I buy that completely. So I don't know. Maybe if you're always attracting that, maybe that's what you want because it's safe. I don't know. Maybe. Either that, or you could not believe that you deserve to be happy. So, I mean, I think there are several variables, and I think that definitely depends upon the person. Number two, which is a kind of compound question. It says, what is Tara's favorite body part on herself? And what is her favorite body part on men? This is funny. Okay, so my favorite body part on me, probably either my mouth or my eyes, one of the two. And I say that because, well, hell, everything else is almost 40 and showing the effects. But I think, my eyes and my mouth are probably the most expressive parts of me, and they show the least amount of wear and tear, right? So, and so far as my favorite body part on men, that depends on the man. I'm an eyes girl, I'm a mouth girl, but I appreciate good creation, so it varies depending on the man. Next question. You guys always ask crazy. Okay. Jason asks me this and says, who/what is my greatest influence, and does it differ from my inspiration? I don't know, because if we're talking about writing and performing, then that's different. If we're talking about life, then that's different. And if we're talking about spirituality, that's different. So, my influences, writing wise, would probably be most of the poets, if not every poet I've come into contact with several of them really sticking out, being blues and Tavis and Mays and Swan and Ariel. Going to nationals was incredible. I would say that greatly influenced me. Um, I I would have to give credit where credit is due to Mr. Andrew Tyree as well, in terms of influence and writing and motivation. So lots of poets that I've come into contact with since kind of getting out here, I would say, have been my greatest influences. Um, so far as mentoring and whatever, I would have to give it to blues. Um, when we talk about inspiration, I don't know if inspiration is the same thing as motivation, but if so, then of course my daughters. I've been extremely stressed lately, and so have been a little snippish with them. But I would hope that they still know that they're the reason that, that I'm trying to balance and do everything I do. Next question says, when, if ever, is the last time you wore your hair long? And the answer is, I most certainly wore my hair long for a very long time. And I cut my hair in 1995. And when I cut it, it was a little below my shoulder, but my hair's really thick. So I cut it and have never looked back. I'm quite happy with it short. Next question is from Chris, and it says, what is your biggest fear or your biggest goal that you would like to achieve? I don't know. I don't know about that. God, if you'd asked me this question yesterday, my biggest goal would have been to be a full-time writer and performer and mentor and all that stuff. And as of today, I don't know. Because as most people know, today I said that that I wasn't going to be performing anymore. So, don't know. My biggest fear, probably my biggest fear is to probably to ever be in the role of the victim again. Just can't do it. Can't do it. So I stay a control freak. Moving on. Next question. It's off my Twitter. Leans LS Poetry. I don't know how she says it, but what made you go on stage? Holy shit. This incredible need to express it. Like I had written, but I needed to be able to say the words. And there's something in this process of not just putting it on paper, but being able to say it and to feel it and to get it and to breathe it and release it, that makes you go on stage. And then, it's even better when people get it. And that's what keeps you going back to the stage. This next one is from Lester. And the first one says, if you could kill someone and get away with it, would you? And it's a shame that I'm thinking about this question. If you had asked me this 20 years ago, I would have said undoubtedly, with no hesitation and absolutely no remorse. That person's dead. And I don't know that the damage for the others has been so great that I would damage myself doing that at this stage. Unless somebody mess with my kids. Mess with my daughters, and the answer to that question is yes. Next question is, do you feel the government should have any say in same-sex marriages? No, I don't. Not at all. Next question. Wow, you guys are getting way serious on me today. Tell me one regret you have that you wish you could change. One regret that I have that I wish I could change. I regret not having more fun with the people I love, especially my daughters. I'm very serious a lot of the time, and I regret not being able to just let go and have a little fun. But of course, that can be a problem for a control freak. La 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 la. Next one. Are you scared of being vulnerable? See, this is such a widely misconstrued notion. It is not the idea or concept of being vulnerable that scares people. Because I think we're all vulnerable under the right circumstances with the right people and in the right situations. That's not the part that's scary. Um, what's scary is being vulnerable with the wrong person. That should scare the hell out of you. um, so I don't know if that answers your question, but I would say that I'm more scared of choosing the wrong person to be vulnerable with, because there's great stuff in being vulnerable um, when it's with the right people. Um, this is from my PIC. If you could go back to any time, what one thing would you change or do differently, and how would that affect the present? Oh God, just one thing. Um, God, there are several. There really are several. Um, I would, God, I would have stayed in the military. I would have waited for 1996. I would have, and if those things didn't happen, then they're all like, it's like a domino effect, right? Like if I changed the one, it would change everything. And if I didn't change this one, but I changed the next one, then it would impact my ability to do the others. So wishing, you know what I mean? Wishing I would do a lot differently, but I wouldn't be who I am today. I wouldn't have the children that I have today. I just I wouldn't be in the same place, and I wouldn't have affected the people that I have in the last few years. So whatever. Wishes, kicks and giggles, right? Moving on. Oh, that was a shitty answer, wasn't it? Next one. Jamal, Mr. I like my choice of vocabulary. Um, how did you come to your decision to no longer perform? And was it difficult to come to? I came to that decision after something that happened last night at Wine Up. Um, it was extremely difficult to come to. It's still difficult. And the problem is that lately, like last night was just kind of the icing on the cake, right? The problem is that lately, I feel like people are taking and pulling at me and overstepping boundaries. because like as much as I'm transparent and as much as I show you, I still only show you like one smidgen of who I am as an individual and as a person. Like I might tell you how I feel about